Hey, everybody, it's Doug Jacob. I'm streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather is a little rainy, a little off. The stock market was a little bit off today, as far as I'm concerned, because in my NVIDIA, my MicroStrategy strategy,
I mean, it's taken a breather. It's been going crazy up, so it's taken a breather, which is understandable.
I had to hire somebody to count all the money I was making on those two stocks.
You needed more than 10 fingers, right, to count?
Yes, I mean, to take a day off is almost a relief.
Right, right.
I was making
No,
too
it's
much.
been it's been doing really good.
United Health. I told my friend Gordon, who asked me about United Health when it took the hit the other day, on earnings. He said, I've got a lot of United Health. What should I do? So I told him immediately sell half and buy the Qs. He listened to me and he's happy because UNH has
It's
continued
very
on
good.
down. But, I give him advice. I can't give my viewers advice because we don't do that. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yes, I know exactly what you
Because
mean.
we're strictly, everything is our own opinion, and we're not investment advisors in any way. It's purely for entertainment, this show. And
That's
for
right.
that matter, I'm not even that funny. I try to be funny sometimes, but it doesn't usually work.
We have a very special sense of humor.
Yeah, special, but yeah, gotta kind of figure it out when I'm being funny, when I'm not. All right, so it's been a very good 5 weeks, wouldn't you say, Kamal?
The past 2 weeks have been really good. Not the past 2 days, but the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, really good, especially for those holding the Mag 7, which rebounded.
I
Uh,
mean, across the board, there's significant recovery
yeah,
across the board.
yes, I agree. I agree.
I'm very happy with Nvidia. Nvidia like made a huge comeback, which is great.
Yeah, I think it's definitely. I mean, I'm going to sell a little bit when it breaks 151, just a little.
So you think it's gonna make new highs?
I do. 151 is the old high. Maybe I sell a little bit at 155, something like that. I have a lot of it. I know. I told you how much I have, and you said I'll see you and raise you. You told me. So what
So
I have, you have more.
I think if they make a deal with China, as far as the China being allowed to buy Nvidia chips, Nvidia will definitely break new highs.
Aren't they working on a new version of the H100 that would be legal to sell to China? That's what I heard.
Yeah, yeah, but you know, I
China's
think eventually, I think eventually China will make their own chips. I think they're working on that in the background.
sure.
Reverse technology and whatnot. They'll figure it out and they'll
Yeah.
make their own chips.
I own only two semiconductor stocks, NVIDIA mainly, and a little bit of Broadcom.
Oh, I see.
AVGO. Making money on both. I'm making quite a lot of money on NVIDIA, but that's part of the reason my position is grown because it's gone up over the last couple of years significantly. I didn't sell all of my NVIDIA on the way down, but I sold a little. I sold a little, like it actually went the way up. I sold a little. All right, so I have a few charts I want to look at, basically the macro stuff. I want to look at SPY. I want to look at Bitcoin, and I want to look at the IWM. I added to the IWM the other day. I think it's the small caps turn. They got to get a turn, don't they? They deserve a turn.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think small caps are a good place to be, especially if we continue to melt up. And you can see by the channel that I drew on the S&P, there's plenty of room left to run. I could see 700 by the end of the year. S&P 700, SPY 700. Of course, Omar said 750, right? The other day when he was on with us.
I don't recall, but okay.
Yeah, I think he said 750. I don't know if we get that high, but he's a funny guy because he says 750. Meanwhile, he told me the other day that he covered all his longs and never took profit. So if you feel that it's going to 750, well, why bother covering all your longs? Leave a little on the table at least. So I don't know how strong his conviction is. Oh
I think
yeah?
the Spike is on in the background.
Oh, okay. I don't see him. How come I
He
don't
says
see him?
he's logging on or something.
Oh,
Hello.
now, hey, how you doing, Spike?
Good. Good. Let me turn off my music here.
Celsius is at a breakout apparently.
What happened? I'm sorry.
Celsius is near breakout. We can take a look at that. Omar is also calling for a retest of the bottom. Yeah, that's the trouble with
Going
Omar.
for a retest to the bottom.
That's the trouble
No,
with
he called for
Omar.
that like a month ago. He called it
He's-
like a month
He,
ago.
he was calling for a retest at like 480, SPY 480, and at the same time he's calling for a melt up to 750. So I can't figure out all this.
I guess it can't be wrong.
It can't be wrong if you call both ways. Right?
Exactly. It's like quantum.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great look. He's a friend of ours, and he's a great chartist. I'll be the first to admit that. He knows a lot more about charting than.
No, I think he mentioned something like if then else, if this happens, then this will happen.
That's the thing. He tries to get every little twist and turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
I see his like yellow lines going up and down and up and down, and he goes to 1928 or 19.
I get dizzy looking at all his charts.
Right.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm much more simple-minded. I'm saying I'm a bull. I've been a bull a long time now, and I'm still bullish.
I look at things like micro, like maybe even macro. I look for like 3 months, 6 months. I don't look like many years back.
Yeah, that's all you can do, really.
No, and that's another reason why I use exponential moving averages.
Well, that takes into account the past as well as the.
Yeah, but it's just not as much. It just
But there's really not that much difference if you look at the EMAs from the SMAs. They're very close.
Well, you get to choose your factor, though. If you get to choose your factor.
Yeah. What is Cabinet Guy? Cabinet Guy, thanks for getting me in an MVST. I made a lot of money in it. I'm out. I took my profits. Remember when it was up $1 that day? Just cash. I made a lot of money on Cabinet Guys. Little tech. He alerted it to me, and I went in and I kept adding because it dropped, and I didn't want to sell. So I wound up with a really nice gain. Yeah, I was just talking about a Cabinet Guy.
Good.
I'm out of it now, but thank you. I got to thank you. So I mean, I get some good ones from our viewers. Don't get me wrong. I'm not ashamed to show you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how we used to make our money back in the old days.
Yeah, sometimes they alert us to some things that work.
Tips.
Like
We'll take them.
the gift
We
with
take tips.
The gift with Celsius. You alerted us to that earlier. So I haven't followed MVST since I sold it. It might even be up higher. Probably. That's what usually happens to me. But in any event, my call is still, it's what I say, 700. I've been consistent. 700, maybe 730, as high as that. I'm not far from Omar's for 750, but I just don't like to make a million intermediate calls along the way like he does.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't do that. I'm not looking at the charts daily like that. But let's take a look at the charts. Anybody could see they're really bullish at this point. So I'm going to present. Well, I only have 3 charts, and if you want to do more, let Spike do. Let's see here. Entire screen. All right, let's look at SPY. Now, I drew a very wide channel, but basically that big green line is the big turning point in the chart. That turnaround, what was that? When he walked back the tariffs? I don't remember what that
Right.
day was. Whatever the news was that day, that is a turning point. I see the middle of that candle is offering great support if it ever gets down that low. That's like 5.25. We don't want it that low. By the way, I added a lot to my SPY position at 505, and that's looking like a pretty good move.
Oh
I,
yeah.
s- I sold some of my crap and I added to SPY. You know, some of the BioDrec that I was losing on. Remind me never to buy BioDrec. Just shoot me if I buy BioDrec.
I,
Yeah, I know,
I
right?
lost I lost so much money on bio stuff.
I don't remember the last time I made money on BioDrec. It's
Yeah.
that old.
I know. I mean, I'm almost even on Lily now instead of being up.
I mean, you don't have to be a genius. When the S&P pulls back, add to SPY, add to whatever, add to XMH on pullbacks, add to XLF, whatever you want. XLF is the financials,
Right.
SMH is the semiconductors. Bitcoin, another beautiful step. What do you call this? A stepwise chart?
Hmm.
Step function, sort of, right? Is this a step function,
Yep.
Spike?
Yep. That's what I would
Yeah,
call it.
I see multiple steps.
Yeah, you see, it gets support in a straight line, moves up. Gets support in a straight line, moves up. I see the same thing happening here. We're gathering good support at around 100K, and then we're going to break out. So I think we get this stepwise behavior all the way up to whatever the highs of the year are, maybe 180. I'm looking for 140, but who knows? It could go higher. Bitcoin, I'm very enthusiastic about Bitcoin.
Was it 180 the highs of the years? No.
No, I'm saying it could go to that.
Right. Because we're
Uh,
almost there. We're almost at the highs, right? The highs like
the
106.
high is 106, maybe.
Yeah, so we're almost there. And
Yeah,
I agree with you. There will be another big candle maybe in a couple of days, maybe a week.
maybe bigger than the ones you see here.
Right. Do you see every time there's like a few candles, 6, 7 candles,
I
then
can see a candle that's from start to finish is 16,000.
so you should just keep your crypto.
I'm not selling. I'm adding even at this ridiculous level. Yeah. I've been adding my IBIT. I've been adding to Wolf. I've been adding to strategy. So I don't know. I don't have a tremendous amount, so I can nibble. But I mean, if I had the amount that you had, Kamal, I wouldn't be nibbling. I'd just be holding.
Yeah, I'm holding. I'm holding. I'm watching.
Yeah. I'm much more conservative than you are, and I have smaller wins, but that's fine. I don't need the adrenaline rush.
Yeah,
You mean the heart attack?
the heart attack.
Whatever. I mean, it's not only when it goes against you, even when it goes with you, you get more of the adrenaline.
Nightmares.
It's much more of an adrenaline rush when you're going up and down.
Yes. When you're going up, I feel my finger is so itchy to sell.
Yeah. I think my emotions are tied to the market very often. I don't like that, but it's true. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it because the money. It's not really about the money. I don't know. Is it ego? I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain the market and the rush that I get. Even when I don't go in that much, it's still a rush. Uh, it's similar to that betting $2 on a horse race and being in a photo finish. You can get more of a charge out of that than having 1,000 shares of Amazon. You know, it depends. Or poker. I cannot play poker in the casinos anymore. It's just bad for my body. I start my pulse go, my heart rate goes up too much on big hands. So I can't do it anymore. I was a very good poker player. All right. So anyway,
Stick with the nickel games.
yeah. Oh, the slots. You mean I can't do that?
No, not in the slots, in the poker.
Well, the nickel
Play with
game
your
is.
friends.
You mean 5 and 10? That's a big game.
No, nickels and dimes, real nickels and real dimes with your
Oh, but
friends.
I'm talking about casinos.
Oh, you're talking at the casino. Yeah, no, I don't like much poker either.
Never played poker with
I
friends.
feel like a minnow in a
No, I
pool full of sharks.
never play poker with friends because they don't stay your friend if you do that.
Oh, you have to lose every now and then.
Yeah, you got to purposely lose. It's annoying.
That's what I do with my mom. When I play with my mom, I purposely lose.
Yeah, I mean, if you play poker with friends, you just one reason to do that: get together and get drunk,
Right.
not care about the money or the game.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous. All right. Anyway, I'm convinced Bitcoin is going higher. The only caveat is that everyone and their brother is saying higher. I don't like that.
Right.
I want a healthy amount of.
Your cab driver's telling you about Bitcoin.
I want a healthy amount of bears. I don't see that right now. So maybe it needs a little more of this up and down, around and around, up and down and around before it breaks out. But I think by the end of the month it will break through.
Now, why hasn't Wolf done anything good like that?
Wolf did move up a lot. Wolf it's slow.
Well, I mean, didn't have a bad day. Didn't have a bad day today. I'm not sure.
Sure, but so did MicroStrategy. So did Bitcoin.
Yeah, they all got whacked.
All the Bitcoin adjacents.
Yeah,
And
Tamara
Bitcoin itself turned in a red candle, right?
and I bet, and all of them.
They're all down. Let's take a look at I added to this. I've been adding to this a little bit.
Oh, IWM, yeah.
I think it's their turn to have a run. So I'm
You're not
gonna
worried about that gap. You're not worried about that gap there.
I have the four ETFs: diamonds, IWM, SPY, and Qs. I have the most in Qs, then spiders, then diamonds, and the least in IWM. So I'm trying to equalize. I'm going to add to this.
Yeah. No, I'm still holding this one.
It's a beautiful channel. It's not as strong as the spiders, so it hasn't taken out this high on. I can't read 321. It's got to take that high out.
Yeah, no, for a while you were talking about the 240s and the 280s.
I'm still talking about that. I believe it's going to get there by year end. I think we get a big rally in the small caps. And I think the Fed will give in and lower. I'm very optimistic.
Talk seems to be going that way.
Yeah, I mean, the recent reports are disinflationary. We had a disinflationary report today, didn't we?
Right.
I got to move this down a little bit. So we are at the recent highs, just about, right? That line that I drew, we are there. Yeah, I like IWM. I think it could definitely run. I'm just pulling a number out of the air. How about 300?
Wow. Okay.
That's a good number. I said it last time. What I say, 280 last time?
Yep.
I'll raise it up. What have I got to lose?
Good point.
I have nothing to lose. I'll raise it up. So I do think with interest rates will come down. I think the there'll be further interest in small caps because, you know, you need a little healthy expansion of the bull. What do they call it? Breadth. We need better breadth.
Right.
Better breadth. We've been getting better breadth, but it hasn't gotten into the small caps in a big way. So I think it will. Should I do a Celsius? Take a quick look.
Might as well.
And then I'll turn it over to you if anybody else has anything or you have something. Yeah, it's breakout territory. All it's got to do is close above that red candle. Actually, above yesterday's candle. Confirm the move. Yeah, this is very strong chart. But you need a confirmation of one candle above yesterday's high, rather. I want to close above yesterday's high. Can I say it any other way?
Right.
All right, I said it. All right, I'll let you take over.
All right.
I'm really relaxed and having fun with the market now, though. As it goes up.
It was way stressful back in March.
Yeah. I was stressed out in March, right? I was. It was stressful in March. So you want to go on?
Yeah, I'm right there. There you go. You see it. Actually, this was the IWM. It's just interesting that you left with that one.
Look at that big engulfing candle back. You know, that huge green engulfing candle.
Right here.
That says it all, doesn't it?
And this one here.
Yeah, that says it all. It says buy. And I've been buying a little bit at a time.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep my price below 2. So if it goes in here again, I might.
I bought a little today.
Or even in here, but I guess you're not thinking that this is going to be visited.
I'm thinking it could hit 300 by the end of the year. I think, especially if
they start looking for perspective.
If Professor Omar is right, and I think he might be, we might see numbers above 700 on the SPY.
Because for the longest time, it was hanging around the 220s right in here, and then we did have that spike up here that you were talking about, and then 225 seemed to be the place for it.
Wasn't it in a trading range, if I remember correctly, from 180 to 220 for about
yes, for the longest time, right down in here.
Maybe about a year, close to a year, maybe?
Yes.
Just didn't move out of
that.
Then
it busted out and then did this whole business here. So it's been pretty volatile. But it looks like it just came out.
Disinflationary environment, lowering rates. I think it'll catch fire, this index.
So anything else interesting? I'm looking. I see that.
SMH. You give a look at SMH.
SMH. Okay, not a problem.
I'm thinking of buying some. I mean, I own Nvidia. I own Broadcom, but I want to own more of them.
Let's go back to this. Is
if I buy SMH, I know I'm buying more Nvidia and more Broadcom. I know that, but I'm getting a smattering of other stuff.
Yeah, Nvidia is actually, it's almost that one's even more interesting to look at. This is the more general one, certainly.
Is Nvidia? Nvidia must be the number one holding in SMH anyway.
Probably.
I'm guessing. I own a lot of Nvidia.
Not so great.
I'm still. I like this chart. You see that big gap up? It's very strong.
Oh yeah, definitely. And so you're thinking it's mostly through Nvidia. Nvidia did have a couple of.
If it pulls back to close that last gap, I'm definitely adding.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
buying rather.
Definitely influenced by Nvidia. It's almost looking parabolic.
If the S&P, the SPY goes to 700, this will go proportionately higher.
I think by end of month, this thing will break new highs.
Could be, very well could be, Kamal.
Talking about Nvidia specifically, or the whole group?
SMH in particular Nvidia, but SMH as well.
It's SMH.
So I think their ER is end of month, right?
Yeah, and Nvidia is the 28th, I believe. The earnings are talking?
Yeah.
28.
Okay.
Well, that's like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, today's what, the 15th? Yeah.
Well, let's hope that we have better reaction to the good news, because the
Yeah.
last time they announced, it went down after the good news.
Yeah, you never know with Nvidia. It reports decent earnings and goes down. It's
Right.
annoying.
So I may very. I mean, I what I did was I decided to back up the truck the day before earnings, knowing that they thinking that they'd have a good news, and they did have good news, but the stock didn't go up. The stock went down.
Yeah, it's a lot to do with forecast.
Right. So
My understanding,
I think I'll do the opposite this go round.
How about Walmart? It had really good
Oh,
report.
Walmart had wonderful news today, right?
Yeah, and it didn't do anything today, right?
Well, no.
Earnings were good. Yeah, they reported this morning. I thought it was really good.
Well, if you look at the day, actually, the day looked. You know, this was this was the
It's a
first part of the day.
green candle on the day, right?
Um, let's
I
see.
believe it's a green candle on the
Yeah, it
day
is a green candle on the day.
because it opened much lower and proceeded even lower to what is that? The 200?
Yeah,
No,
this is the 50.
50 down to the 50.
I do the 15 to 20 right now here.
It almost went down to the 50, right? And rebounded very, very strong off of that.
Yeah, well, at this point, the shelves aren't empty.
I have a lot of Walmart. It's one of my biggest holdings. So I'm just keeping it.
Now, just to counterbalance that, look at what Target's been doing.
It's looking like it's put in a bottom, a strong bottom, foundational bottom.
I guess yeah, if they can keep the stores from being empty, then maybe we'll have something here.
They got to keep the supply.
What's the black line? What's the black line you have there?
The black line is the 50.
So it's struggling
The
to
supply,
break.
they can't run out of goods to sell. You're right, absolutely. The supply has got to be. Looks like we might have an island reversal coming up here.
Yeah, I know. It might be worth owning some of this just to own it. Maybe at these low prices.
Is it way off its all-time highs?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, this was after that whole Bud Light thing, and the selling of the clothes.
Oh, that's nonsense.
Yeah. That they first they decided to sell the clothes, then they decided to not sell the clothes.
What was the objection? They were selling to the.
They were selling rainbow stuff to younger kids.
LBQ.
Just rainbow stuff.
Whatever.
And then it got another hit very similarly over here. But yeah, I mean this stock really should at least be in this.
I don't think it's the fact that they would stock that clothing, but they featured it or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's I guess it's like Bud Light, just a bunch of stuff.
It pissed people off for some reason,
Right, including me.
including you. So you won't go into Target because of that?
I rarely go there. I used to like Rainbow, but not anymore for some reason.
All right. Look, to each their own. Everyone has different priorities and so on. Anyway, anywho, I think Target. I mean, it doesn't look like a must own, but if you own it, I wouldn't sell it.
Yeah, I wouldn't sell it either. I mean,
You see how it keeps bouncing off of
you got this nice uptrend over here.
Yeah.
What was that, Kamal?
I said keeps bouncing off of the 50. It hits the 50 and goes back down twice.
Yeah. Well, this is a 20 actually, believe it or not.
No, the black one.
Yeah. Okay. Right up here. Yeah. Right over here.
The gift likes mags. That's the Magnificent Seven. I like it too, but I don't like giving I don't like paying the 1/4%, whatever it is. The fee, the yearly fee is pretty high on mags.
This is my play on those.
What is it?
TECL.
What is it? Double or triple?
I think it's double.
Yeah, that's a good play. Certainly been good.
It's actually 3 times.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been in any of the 3-timers since I made a killing on SOXL. I caught it the day that big green candle that you're talking about. So I caught it perfect. And I haven't played it since. It's like if I want to go and play craps at the roulette at the craps table. Buy it for three
Yeah,
times.
you really do have to get in and out of this thing.
In and out, yeah, like
Yeah, I mean,
like
because it's look at it, I got it. I bought it right over in here.
the
So,
analogy is either the casino or a hula, one or the other.
all right.
In and out real quick.
Yes, exactly.
So you got to go in and out, in and
In
out.
and out, right.
All right. So is that it for
You
today?
don't pay to stay, you pay to leave.
I'm very, 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 very optimistic, and I feel like
Does that mean bullish?
700 SPY is doable by the end of the year.
Now, this has been a little bit of a disappointment.
I own more of that than anything else in my portfolio.
Right. I mean, I'm trying. Let me do the 6 month here chart.
The amount of Amazon I own is incredible. Through the years, I just accumulated.
It's a little. Sorry about that.
I did sell for like 400 shares at that. I don't remember. Do you remember what I sold it at?
No.
I think I sold it at 211.
Wow.
What is it now?
Did you pick the right time?
No, I think it's higher than 211. What is it now?
Well, 211's over here. Right now it's 205.
Oh, okay. So a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, talk about catching it right at the right time.
Wasn't perfect time. 240.
No, but I mean, the thing is, again, if everything else, if everybody's being optimistic, there's no reason not to hold this.
Because I wanted to equalize my portfolio a little bit, rebalance a little bit.
Well, every now and then it's nice to ring the cash register, Dr. J.
That too. All right, so that's it for today. We'll bring it on in and give our final thoughts.
Sounds good.
Final thoughts. Spike, you have any thoughts?
I'm still sticking with my Bitcoin and Bitcoin adjacents.
Okay, Kamal, what's your final thought?
I think the money is in crypto. Like if you really want to make good money, it's in crypto.
Okay, so I'm gonna
miners.
I'm gonna say the chart that I put up on SMH, I like it. I'm gonna say SMH.
Okay, so then now we're talking about the NVIDIA and NVIDIA adjacents.
Of course, I'm really buying a lot of NVIDIA if I buy SMH, I suppose.
Well, like Wolf and MicroStrategies and those guys.
I like them. I own them. Of course, I like them. Of course, our opinion strictly on non-investment advice, and we would like people to hit the bell and subscribe. And why do we want people
give
to
us tips?
subscribe?
And give us tips.
There must be a reason we want people to subscribe. I forget.
It's not for the money.
It's not for the money. So it must be that other thing, ego.
Yep.
It's ego.
All right. I'm gonna have
Adios, amigos, and ciao. Thanks for coming.
Bye-bye.